Hello everyone, my name is Vishwas Takal and today I will present my analysis of the macroeconomics variables of Brazil. My goal is to provide a comprehensive understanding of Brazil's economic landscape including its employment trends, inflation, GDP and economic growth over time. Let's dive into the presentation. Let's talk about the geographical structure of Brazil. Brazil is located in South America and is well known for the Amazon rainforest, the largest rainforest in the world. It is the fifth largest country globally by land area, covering 8.5 million square kilometers and has a population of 216 million. Economically, Brazil ranks its 10th largest economy globally by GDP. The country's potential GDP level is high due to its rich natural resources and diverse industries. Brazil's current GDP is approximately $2.15 trillion. The largest exports are soybeans, iron ore, and the crude petroleum, while its largest imports include machinery and chemicals. Its trade balance has fluctuated, but agriculture remains the largest driver of the GDP for the country, Brazil. Talking about the geographical sector of Brazil, we can dive now into the employment sector of the country, Brazil. Brazil has a labor force of 106 million, with employment spread across three key sectors that are agriculture, industry, and service. As per the diagram shown in the slide here, 28% of the total population is included in the industrial sector of the country Brazil, while 6% of the total population in Brazil are included in agriculture, and the rest 66% of the total population are included in the service sector of the country Brazil. Agriculture includes soybean, coffee, and beef production, which are among the country's top exports. Industry is driven by iron and steel production as well as automobile manufacturing. The services sector encompasses tourism, retail, and finance, contributing significantly to the economy of the country Brazil. After employment overview in the slide 3, let's dive into the unemployment trends in the slide 4 here. Unemployment in Brazil has shown notable volatility over the years. As we can see in the chart, there's two colors that demonstrate the unemployment rates. One is yellow and next one is green. Yellow is the unemployment rate between the years 2015 and 2017 that was caused due to the political instability and a major economic recession, whereas the green bar shows the unemployment rate of the year between 2020 and 2021, which was caused due to COVID-19 pandemic. Due to that, unemployment peaked again as industries struggle with global supply chain disruptions. The graph on this slide illustrates these peaks and valleys, highlighting how external factors and the internal challenges have shaped employment trends. After talking about the unemployment trends, let's dive into the inflation trends in Brazil. Inflation in Brazil has shown significantly volatility over the years, reflecting the country's economic challenge and global influences. From year 2010 to 2014, inflation was relatively stable, supported by strong growth and government policies. However, as we can see in the slide with the yellow bar diagram, during the year 2015 and 16, economic recession, inflation spiked sharply due to the political instability and weakening currency. In 2017, the government introduced stabilization measures, including tighter monetary policies, which helped bring inflation under control. But unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted this process. As you can see in the slide with the green bar, between 2020 and the year 2020 and the year 2021, inflation surged again, driven by rising global commodity prices and supply chain disruptions. These periods of volatility shows how Brazil's economy is deeply concerned to global trends and domestic policies. By observing these trends, it is clear that managing inflation required a combination of proactive fiscal policies and external stability, which has been a challenge for Brazil in recent years. As every problem has the solution, in slide 6 we are talking about the inflation management in the country Brazil. Inflation in Brazil is influenced by several key factors including fluctuating global commodity price and the depreciation of Brazilian real. To manage this, Brazil's central bank actively adjusts interest rate as part of its monetary policy to stabilize inflation. The government uses an inflation targeting framework, and for 2024 it has set the inflation target at 3.25% with a tolerance range of plus minus 1.5%. So that means the country Brazil set its target high to the 3.5 4.5 and lower to the 2.5%. Brazil also uses the tools like IPCA extended customer price index to measure inflation by tracking price changes across a wide range of goods and services. This proactive approach allows policymakers to respond quickly to economic changes. While Brazil has faced challenges during period of global instability, the central bank effort to manage inflation have played a crucial role in stabilizing the economy, especially during crises like the COVID-19 pandemic in the year 2020. After inflation, we're gonna talk about the GDP data in the country Brazil. Brazil's GDP data reveals a mix of growth and challenges over the year. From 1990 to 2010, the economy showed stable growth due to industrialization, expanding export, and government-led development initiative as shown in the diagram. However, between 2015 and 2021, Brazil faced severe economic recession and the COVID-19 pandemic, causing a sharp decline in GDP as shown in the graph given in the slide. Despite these setbacks, recovery started in 2020 with Brazil GDP for 2024 estimated to be at $2.15 trillion. The primary drivers of GDP in Brazil include agriculture, industry, and services. Agriculture is particularly important, with Brazil being one of the world's largest exporter of soybean, coffee, and beef products. The industrial sector, including iron, steel, and automotive manufacturing, also plays a key role. Finally, services such as tourism and finance contribute significantly to the economy. Brazil's diverse economic base helps it navigate periods of volatility, but challenges like a complex tax system and infrastructures deficit persist. Now let's talk about the economic growth of the country Brazil. Over the past 30 years, Brazil's economic growth has experienced distinct peaks and valleys. The graph on this slide highlights key patterns with strong growth from 1990 to 2010, followed by declines during the 2015 and 2017 recession and the COVID-19 pandemics in 2020. Key drivers for this fluctuation include political instability, global crisis, and the structural reforms. Brazil's reliance on commodities such as soybeans and iron ore means that global price changes significantly impact its economy. For example, high commodity price in the early 2010s boosted growth, but the global downturn during the pandemic caused a sharp contraction. Political instability, including corruption scandals and political uncertainty, further damped investor confidence. Despite these challenges, Brazil's resilience is evident in its recovery, driven by structural reforms, increased exports, and a focus on modernization. To sustain growth, Brazil must address its reliance on commodities and focus on long-term stability. So now let's talk about the changes in GDP per capita over 30 years. Over the last 30 years, Brazil's GDP per capita has improved significantly, increasing from $4,000 in 1994 to $10,300 in 2024. This reflects steady progress driven by advancements in industrialization, agriculture, and the service sector. However, despite this growth, Brazil's GDP per capita remains below the global average, highlighting persistent income inequality and development challenge. The population grew from 150 million to 215 million in this period, which contributed to economic growth but also placed pressure on infrastructures and public services. Comparing this to my country Nepal, my home country, the gap is substantial. Nepal's GDP per capita is approximately $1,400 in 2024. While Nepal has made strides in sectors like remittance and hydropower, it lacks the industrial diversity seen in Brazil. Both countries face issue of inequality and structural inefficiencies, but Brazil benefits from its vast resource and larger economy. For Nepal, prioritizing industrial growth, infrastructure development, and global trade can help close this gap with the country Brazil. To conclude my presentation for today, my research on Brazil reveals an economy with immense potential but also significant challenges. Brazil has shown resilience through economic crisis with strong recovery driven by its agriculture sector. However, issues with such as political instability, inflation management, and a complex tax system continue to hinder growth. By addressing these challenges, Brazil can leverage its resources and position itself for sustainable economic success. Thank you.